What is a verdict in a civil lawsuit? Have you ever wondered what happens at the end of a civil lawsuit? One key element is the verdict. This is the official decision made by a court, often by a jury or sometimes by a judge. It wraps up the trial and tells everyone whether the defendant is responsible for the claims made by the plaintiff. When a verdict is reached, it can take different forms. A general verdict is when the jury simply decides if the defendant owes damages and how much. For example, if the jury finds the defendant liable, they will specify the amount that needs to be paid to the plaintiff. Then there is a special verdict. Instead of just saying yes or no, the jury answers specific questions about the facts of the case. This helps the judge determine liability and the amount of damages. Another type is a partial verdict. In this case, the jury might find the defendant liable for some claims but not for others. This can happen when the evidence supports some of the plaintiff's claims but not all. Sometimes, a judge may issue a directed verdict. This occurs when the judge believes there is not enough evidence for the jury to make a decision. In such cases, the judge tells the jury what the verdict should be. Once the verdict is in, the judge will enter a formal judgment based on that decision. This judgment is what legally resolves the dispute between the parties. It can also be enforced, modified, or appealed in some situations. Understanding the verdict is vital in the civil lawsuit process. It marks the end of the fact-finding phase where both sides have presented their evidence and arguments. The verdict reflects the court's determination of the rights and obligations of the parties involved. This moment is significant because it sets the stage for any compensation awarded to the injured party. The verdict is not just a conclusion, it is a formal declaration of what the court has decided based on the evidence presented. So, the next time you hear about a civil lawsuit, remember that the verdict is a critical part of the legal process. It is where the court's decision is made clear and the outcome is determined.